everybody, this is Esme and today I am here with Willow because we are doing a very requested video which is a Q&A, and I don't think I've ever done a Q&A on my channel before. I've done a frequently asked questions but I haven't done like a proper Q&A, and I feel like a Q&A is like the most basic video a YouTuber can do, but it was very requested by you guys, so let's get into it. So first of all, I'd just like to say I was asked on my Instagram about 2,000 questions, which is a lot, and I don't think my camera battery will last for me to do a whole video with 2,000 questions. So I'm really sorry if your question is not answered, but I'll hopefully do future Q&As in the future. So let's have a little look. Okay, one of the questions that I've been asked the most is what are my plans for the future. So if you didn't know, currently I'm in my last year of college, which is equivalent to the last year of high school in the US. The UK school system's slightly different to the US, so you finish high school at 16 when you've done your GCSEs, and then you have 2 years at a sixth form college. Some people call it sixth form, some people call it college, where you do 3 subjects which are called A-levels. So I'm currently studying biology, chemistry and geography. So in June 2019, so quite soon, I'll be taking my final exams, which will basically decide what I do in the future. So I am very busy at the moment with schoolwork and things. So there are lots of different routes I could go down. So I'm actually going to be having a gap year. So a gap year is actually quite common in the UK. I don't know about other countries, but it basically is when you finish school, college, high school or whatever, you have a year off. So you have a year of working in the real world. So a lot of people get part-time, get like a full-time minimum wage job, and then with that money use it to travel around the world, just do experiences and do the things you want to do before you go to university kind of thing. But also quite a lot of people do it if they're not sure what they want to do, if they want to earn money, so then they have a bit more money when they go to university and become a student, and lots of different things like that. So I'm planning on my gap year to do This Is Me, to do YouTube full time, so hopefully I can make a lot more videos than I'm making at the moment, which will be awesome. I'm also planning on doing a lot of travelling. A lot of people also on my Q&A have asked me what countries I want to ride in or things like that. So I'd really like to go to all of the big equestrian events around the world, because I'd like to do meetups and meet some of you guys, because I've done meetups in the UK, but obviously there are you guys all over the world. So I'd really like to go to Kentucky horse trials in the US, or the Adelaide International event in Australia, maybe go to New Zealand, Canada, and but when I've finished my A-levels, the plan is, like, as soon as I finish my exams, I'd really like to go to Iceland and ride Icelandic horses, because I think that'd be so cool and so different, because they have this weird, it's like I think it's like an in-between a trot and a canter. I can't remember what it's called, but I would really like to experience that and do vlogging when I'm traveling and things, and obviously do a lot more riding and stuff like that. So that is the plan, but I just need to get my results in my A-levels first. So the next question is, how long have I been riding / how did I get into riding? So I probably kind of brushed on this slightly in my riding story. I live in the countryside. There are a lot of horse barns, riding schools around me. So literally people would be riding past on horses all the time. And as soon as I could walk and talk, I'd literally go up to the window and watch all the horses walk past. And I'd say to my parents, can I do horse riding? And I actually wasn't allowed to do horse riding. I've started asking as soon as I could talk, so probably 1, 2-ish or something like that. But I only started getting lessons when I was 5, and the first time I actually rode a horse was at a friend's birthday party. I think it was her 5th birthday party, so I'd just turned 5 as well, because it was in June time, so it was the end of reception / kindergarten sort of age. And yeah, so after that I really enjoyed riding a horse at a friend's birthday party. I was like, please can I have lessons now? Because I was always told that I was too young or too small to ride, because I was quite a small child. But so yeah, and then I started having lessons at the local riding school, and I really enjoyed it. So I started having riding lessons when I was 5, and I'm now 17. So I've been riding for 12 years. Willow has been in my life, my whole life. So when I was born, my parents had the donkeys. They sort of came with the house. So yeah, I've been with this gal my whole life. She was my first pet. So one thing I have been asked a lot is, how many saddle pads do I have / can you make a saddle pad collection video? And I will be making one, but I probably won't upload it until December, because I'm planning on doing kind of vlogmas, but not really. I'm not going to post a video every single day, but in December I'm going to be posting a lot more because I understand there'll be the Christmas holidays, so people will be able to watch my videos more, and I'll have like hopefully a little bit more time to film. So I'm planning on uploading a lot of videos in December basically, so it'll probably be up in December. So a lot of people have asked why I don't compete, if I have any competitions coming up, or what discipline I compete in. And basically, at the moment, I don't do any competitions. And this is because I'm in my last year of college and exams are stressful. And the last thing I need is more stress about learning dressage tests or show jumping courses or anything like that. So at the moment I don't compete because of school. I don't have enough time. It's literally a whole day away from studying and a whole day of like, you have to prepare, you have to wash your horse, like clean your tack, all that stuff. And it's also very expensive. So at the moment in my life, no, but in my gap year when I finished school and my exams, then yes, I will hopefully be doing a lot more. So in the past I have competed a bit, but I've never competed affiliated because when I got Mickey, we just went to like local horse shows and did like gymkhanas, and then we did quite a lot of mounted games because Mickey used to absolutely love mounted games but he's now retired and I'm too big to ride him and everything. And then when we first got Casper, I didn't really compete him that much because I could barely ride him. I could barely control him, and he definitely wasn't ready for competition then. And it's just so annoying because it feels like as soon as I've now got a horse that I can ride and compete, I've now got exams and work. But in my gap year, hopefully I'll have a chance to do a lot more competing. But also something you need to keep in mind that you don't need to compete to have fun with horses. So this is quite an interesting one. It says, what does Casper like to ride? Is he strong, push button, lazy? You're such an amazing rider person. Love you so much. Hope you, Casper and Mickey and the donkeys are together forever as you deserve each other. Love you. Love you too, thank you. And it really depends. I feel like Casper can be in two different moods. It really depends where we are, what he's in, because obviously some people don't realise horses are animals and sometimes they have bad days, sometimes they're grumpy. I can be moody sometimes. So yeah, it really depends. I think he's definitely a lot more excited, I'd say, more like whizzy and spicy Casper when I take him to pony club, when I take him to like show jumping clinics, shows, like whenever we're away from home, I'd say he's definitely more keen and more excited. And then when we're at home and I'm literally doing flat work in the school, he's like potato Casper, where he's like, oh, I don't really want to do, he's like, oh, really, flat work, this is boring. And then like as soon as I put up a jump, he's like, spicy Casper again. He's like, yes, let's do this. Let's do some jumping. Oh, sorry, Willow. But yeah, so he can be one or the other, or he can be like in the middle where you think he's really potato Casper, but as soon as something spooky happens, like a tree shakes loads with a pigeon coming out of it or something, he'll be like spicy Casper. So it depends. But he's definitely not a push button pony. No. He is definitely, you have to ride him. You don't just sit on him. So if you can't tell already, we have moved because the one day in the UK where the sun decides to come out, it's in the middle of filming and it's too bright for the camera, so we've gone a little bit further into the pine forest. So now I'm going to answer the next question. What has been your worst fall and did it knock your confidence? So I have probably fallen off over 100 times. I think I lost count at about 50. And that was a long time ago, so I don't really know how many times I've fallen off, but I've had some bad ones, but touch wood, tree. I've never had a fall where I've seriously injured myself. I've always been able to get back on the horse after falling. I'd probably say my worst fall was on Casper, where he bolted in a big open field. He probably spooked it like a bird or something, and he was galloping off. I was hanging on for dear life and landed on my coccyx, which is like the end of your tailbone in your back. And that was quite sore, but I got back on, did some canter circles, calmed him down. It was all good. But I think with horse riding, something I've learned is you literally just need to get back on, and I've always had that mentality. I've always had that thing where as soon as you fall off, I just get straight back on. There was once I actually fell off on Mickey and his girth was loose, so when I got straight back on I just fell off again because his saddle like slipped. But yeah, no, that's why they have the saying you always need to get straight back on the horse, because if not, the longer you don't get back on, the longer you're going to think about it, you're going to think about the fall, and you're just not going to get back on. So just get straight back on, pretend it didn't happen, and just focus on riding the horse. Even if it's just getting back on and just walking with somebody leading you, if it's better than just standing on the side thinking about it. So, and I feel like that's something in life in general. If something goes bad, you just need to move on, keep going, and it'll be all right. Oh no, they're calling for you, Willow. Okay, so the next one is, what is your favourite coloured horse / what is your dream horse? And a lot of people think I have 2 greys by choice. Technically I do, but not really. I didn't choose Mickey and Casper because I was like, they're greys. I'm gonna choose them because they're a grey. Mickey, I chose him because of his funny personality. When we first bought him, he was cheap, he was safe, perfect first pony. And then Casper, he was cheap, he was young, he liked jumping, and he just happened to be a grey. And after getting Mickey, I was like, I'm never having a grey again. It's too difficult, I can't deal with the cleaning. And then Casper came along and I was like, oh well, it'll be all right, I'm used to it. But to be honest, it's kind of good having a grey. Like, I know the sound, you're like, Esme, how can a grey be like good? But there are actually many advantages. For example, they're a really bright colour, so when I'm doing, oh, she's got a fly. Or is that a wasp? You okay? Also, every single colour of the rainbow goes with them, apart from white because it kind of makes them look a bit yellow. But apart from that, like any matchy colour will suit them, so that's also a plus. You know, like sometimes you can get horses and they look really dusty and they have like that white sort of dead skin dust, which is kind of horrible. You can't really see that on a grey, so that's another good thing. And also, I find that the horses get less flies on them than Toby, which is our black donkey. I don't know if that's a thing, if like light-coloured horses get less flies, but that might also be a benefit. Also, because they're brighter, it means when you're riding on the road, cars more likely to see you. So there are some benefits of having a grey. But if I were to get another horse, I wouldn't just get it by its colour. I've never bought a horse because of its colour. It should always be about the horse in general and its personality and how it's ridden, and yeah. So I actually kind of forgot to answer this one. I was talking about my future plans, but it says, what will you be doing at uni? Oh, don't go away. So I never actually answered this one earlier about my future plans, but it says, what will you be doing at uni and what will happen to the ponies? So the plan is, for my gap year, I'm not applying this year to university, I'm going to apply next year because all of the courses I want to do, I have to have interviews to be accepted, so I don't want to have the stress at the moment with A-levels and everything, having to drive from one side of the country to another to go to interviews, to have the stress of interviews and preparing for them. This year is just me focusing on getting my exam results, and then with my exam results I'll go from there to see what I can do. I'd like to be a vet, but you need all A's at A-level, and A-levels, I don't know if you know, but they are very difficult. They're all, like all of mine are 100% exam based, so it depends how I do on the day in my exams. I could be really ill and do really badly in them. It's going to be a stressful time, but so yeah, if I get all A's, I'll go down the vet route. If not, I have lots of backup plans, lots of different options. I've been thinking about vet nursing, veterinary physiotherapy, lots of other stuff, but whatever I do in the future, I'd like to involve it with animals. So the next question is, what are your horse's cheekiest habits? So Willow and Bruno and Toby, the donkeys, if you leave your jumper, your coat, anything, even if there aren't treats in your pocket, they will destroy it. I have been through a couple of jumpers that they've decided to chew, mangle, and just throw in the mud, really. That is not great for our washing machine with, yeah. So with them, you can't leave your clothes anywhere. Bruno actually likes to headbutt people. It's really, like, you'll just be standing there, and if you're not scratching him, giving him attention or anything, he will just come and nudge his head on your side like, excuse me, can I have some attention, please? Toby's, I don't know, it's not a habit, it's just his bray is quite loud, and our neighbours sometimes don't like it. Mickey, he's got his licking, but that's just Mickey really. Don't know, he doesn't really have any habits apart from getting into places he shouldn't be. If you leave the tack room door, if the bolt is not done up properly and you haven't locked it properly, he will somehow, with his nose, be able to undo the latch and get in. I don't know how, and he knows where the treat jar is as well. There was one time I was riding and I thought I'd locked the door. I obviously hadn't. There was this massive crash. Mickey was in the tack room, knocked down my wardrobe with all the saddle pads in. They were all over the floor. He was fine, eating lots of treats from the treat jar. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. So I don't really know what Casper's cheekiest habit is. I feel like the smaller the equine, the cheekier they are. Like, I know a lot of cheeky Shetlands, a lot of cheeky donkeys, a lot of cheeky ponies, but Casper, he's actually got really good ground manners. There isn't anything that he does really that's naughty on the ground. Riding wise, you know, all horses are not perfect, but I don't know. I don't think there's like one thing that I'd say is like Casper's really cheeky about. He's just usually, when he spooks, it's usually because he's like scared. So I don't really know. I don't think he has any cheeky habits. Okay. So the next, okay. I'm so clumsy. Okay, so the next one is, if you could change one thing about Mickey and Casper, what would it be and why? So Mickey and Casper, I love them how they are in their own strange little way. But I'd say one thing that I'd like to change about both of them is if they had this magical like thing over their coat so they would never get dirty. That'd be a good thing, especially for me. But no, like if like something like realistically, I'd say Casper, I'd probably make him a bit bigger because he's 15 hands / 14.3-ish. It says 14.3 in his passport. When we measured him, he's like 15 hands. So he's like an overgrown pony. So we didn't really realise I was going to be as tall as I am when I was younger, because my mum's like 5'3", so she's quite small, and I'm like 5'6", so I am a little bit big for him. But I'd say, yeah, make Casper bigger, and Mickey, I would make his nose like a different, I don't know, I'd make his nose so it wouldn't get sunburnt, because he doesn't like having sun cream put on his nose. Or I'd probably make Mickey's like skin less sensitive to like the sun or like the mud and stuff, because we have to like put lots of cream on his legs because he has this like sensitive cremello skin. So yeah, it would be like things that would make them more happy and more comfortable really. If you could ride any other like famous horse / pony, the donkeys are back. Shut up! So, okay. So the next question is, if you could ride any famous horse or pony, who would it be? And this is like a no-brainer. I would love to ride Vellegro, aka Blueberry, Charlotte Dujardin's horse, because he is so cool. Like, just like I probably wouldn't be able to ride him, but just to be able to ride such a nice dressage horse and do all like the dressage movements, I just think it'd be so cool, because I'd rather, yeah, because it's just so different to riding Casper. Like, obviously it would be really cool to ride some massive event horse that can jump 4-star event jumps, but I feel like dressage is just something so unique about the horse, and I just think it would be so cool to ride Vellegro. So somebody has asked me, a lot of people have asked me about Casper's bitless bridle and why I'm riding him in it and when do I ride him in it, and why do I use it for something. So Casper's bitless bridle is basically for me when I get on him and I'm like, okay, we're just gonna have some fun. I'm not gonna stress about schooling him, anything like that. It's like if I go for a hack and we go to the beach or to the forest and just have some fun really, because he isn't a very strong horse or anything like that, and he's very chilled in it. I've used it like at home show jumping him in it a couple of times, but he did go better with his normal bridle, and obviously for dressage you need a bit, so that's why it's not like it won't be like 100% thing, but I'm just trying it out, having some fun, and that's it really. So a lot of people have asked me how I fit in YouTube, work, because I actually have a part-time job at a vet's, school and riding. And to be honest, I don't really know. Well, I do. I wake up very early, usually like when the sun rises, so like 6 o'clock-ish. And every day, if I am not feeling tired by 8 o'clock, then that day has not been served well, because when I'm awake and I'm doing things. I'm feeding the horses, riding the horses, doing homework, everything. So basically, I know it sounds bad, but I try and limit my time on my phone, watching YouTube, everything like that. So I usually wake up, do everything I need to do, and then I let myself have 1 hour in between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock to go on my phone, go on YouTube, watch Netflix, anything like that, and then chill down and go to bed. Because if you get up early, I just find I get so much more done, like in the morning, especially even before school. Sometimes I'll do like a session of revision or work or studying before I go to school, and it just means that I'm ready for the day. You just need to be motivated and productive, and you can fit it all in, just about. But if you would like to see a whole video on how I do everything in a day and fit it all in, then comment down below and I might do like a how I manage school and horses video if you're interested. So if you work really hard, you can play really hard, and then you can fit everything in, basically. So the last question for today is going to be, what do you prefer and why, cross country or show jumping? So I think Casper prefers show jumping and I prefer cross country. And I think it's because Casper isn't the boldest horse, so show jumping is a little bit less spooky for him, but I think he does generally love both. I prefer cross country just because there are a lot of more different types of jump. So I love the variety of it, so like steps, water jumps, ditches, the lot. I just find them so fun. I also quite like, my favourite sort of type of jump, a lot of people ask what my favourite jump is. I really love dog legs. I don't know why, but I just find them really fun to do. I don't know, I don't like doubles because Casper can't do the stridings for them because he's a really odd size. He has a really short size striding, so usually in a jump where it should be 1 stride, he gets 2. So I don't like doubles just because of that. They're not very fun to ride. I really have to push him to get 1 stride in sometimes, because sometimes he physically can't get 2 in if there's like a oxer or something, I don't know. I like cross country because you get to go really fast, and Casper is usually faster cross country. So yeah, I would say I prefer cross country and Casper prefers show jumping. So that is all the questions for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll be doing more Q&As in the future because there were so many questions, and thank you to everyone who sent in questions on my Instagram. I might do a future one with Bruno or Toby, so the other donkeys, or I might do it with Willow again, we'll see. But this is actually really good because it just involves the donkeys a bit more on my channel, which is fun. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!